So today I am making a video about celebrating when we feel ourselves getting triggered. So that might sound a bit weird, but when you start to feel, whether it's anxiety or you're starting to feel a bit angry or frustrated or impatient or stressed or shutting down or freezing or whatever your default is when you're triggered, if you can start to notice that, then you're really, really on the way to being able to shift that. There's old patterns, there's old things that kind of come up. When we get triggered, it can happen so quickly that we're in it before we can do anything about it. And then it takes quite a long time for us to calm our nervous system down and, whatever it is we want to do, whether it's go for a walk, go for a swim, do our breathing exercises, yoga, meditation, all of the above. It can still take quite a long time when you've kind of gone past that almost point of no return. When you start to notice them on the way up, when they're building, then, and you can catch it, and this takes, it's not easy. It's just great when it happens. Then you can catch them. There's no point in you talking yourself out of it or denying it, because you don't want to deny any of yourself. We have to welcome all of our stuff if we want to heal it and kind of, move through it, change our patterns. But the key thing is to kind of notice it on the way up before we go into stories and mind chatter and it gets really bad, and kind of, be with it there before it's built up too high. And then we can kind of, I don't know what it is, whether we, talk to ourselves, we journal, we write stuff down, tell ourselves, okay, I'm going into panic. This thing is happening over here. This thing is happening inside me. It's panic, it's stress, it's anxiety, or whatever, wherever we're going, however we're spiraling. And, start to just notice that and recognize it. And if we keep doing that and keep almost, it's like intercepting. But as I say, you don't want to stop the feelings. You just want to kind of be with the feelings. There's lots of different ways of doing it. Whether you take yourself off and do a meditation, or you go off and do a walk while you feel into it, or whatever, it's kind of, just recognizing it when it's building before it's got control of you, or you've really gone into that really kind of, that downward spiral, that negative self-doubt that's very hard to then pull ourselves out of. So the celebration is, if you can catch it before it gets to that point that we've gone into our negative spiral, then you're winning. So keep an eye out for these things. It's not always easy with some of them. Some of the ones that are buried quite deep and, have been following us around for a long, long time, they're quite hard to, that we've got so much into that pattern of them taking over and coming up so quickly, that it is hard to catch them when they're on the way up, because they happen so quickly. But once we become more conscious of these things and aware of them, and we start to notice when they're coming, we spot the signs, because we're really getting to know the things that happen in our bodies. And this is where meditation and mindfulness and breath work and all that stuff is so good and so important, because we can really start to feel, oh, I've got that knot in my solar plexus, or I've got a lump in my chest, or oh, I'm grinding my teeth, my jaw's really tight, whatever it is, lots of different other things that we all do. But if we recognize when that's happening, we can then sit with it and be curious and inquire into, oh, what is that? And then sit with the feelings, kind of recognize that it's, this thing is happening over here, but actually this thing is happening inside me. That thing over there has triggered it, but this feeling inside me is probably from something that's happened a while ago. And then we can be brave and do a bit digging around, and we can be with it and sit with it and eventually heal it. So lots of reasons to celebrate when we start to feel these things coming up. Anyway, keep an eye out for them, and see how you get on.